Hello, my name is Chrono, and today we have an old set that is being introduced while my dog is deciding to go and scratch himself and knock against the wall while doing so, followed by sounds of stuff being knocked over upstairs, it seems. Also, this video, because I know my friend Artie, I know you're probably watching this, thank you for... And here comes more dogs. Hello, Marmar. Hello. I'm filming. Hello. I'm currently filming right now. No. My dogs. Oh, my dogs. This one loves attention. I'm trying to film. You like it when you get dead pets. I know that. Stop. But yeah. So, where was I? Alright. Artie, I know you're watching this, and I know you probably have been pestering me to put this video up. I know. Don't worry, I didn't forget. I made sure to do this after I got back home. Because I told my buddy about this and how I was making this video, and he's like, I'm going to pester you until you make this video. You're getting your wish. Appreciate it while you have it. I'm sorry, that came off really weird. Maybe, whatever. Where was I? Right. So let's go back to the year 2010. There was a LEGO theme going around called LEGO Atlantis. Really cool theme. I think it was a successor to the older theme, LEGO Aqua Raiders. I actually remember that thing. Man, I'm 25. I am old. God. It's been a minute. But yeah. Now, unfortunately, problem is with this set is that some of the parts have gone missing, and I don't really have everything. And I literally went to go do a little bit of research for this set to make sure I'd see like what it is, and I'm noticing there are parts there that I have apparently lost, and I'm like, damn, that's some really cool pieces, and I don't have that because I was an idiot and I wasn't being mindful of where I was storing things. So, I'm disappointed in myself, but I'm glad at least I was able to find what I was able to find. But yeah, we'll get to it, shall we? So there's two waves of it, and there's different takes on some of the stuff. So here we have, now this was described as the Barracuda Man. I don't think that's quite accurate. This is an anglerfish man. And here we have Fish. That's actually the character's name. There was actually a little movie that was made for this thing. And he has a camera. I couldn't find the camera. So I found him a fish. I thought it'd work. Why not? Now, they originally had like green instead of yellow on the suits, and this was like wave 2, so they have more stuff like pressure gauges and stuff, because I guess they go deeper underwater. And considering what they find, yeah, that makes sense. A lot of thing that's notable is that if you go and look at the LEGO Atlantis line, a lot of the villains are just deep sea creatures, or like half man, half fish people. And this one's like a little anglerfish dude, I guess. Now, let's get to the thing. Here, we have the anglerfish. Look at this thing. Now, I'm going to list the pros and cons, as usual, of these sets. Now, would I get this set? I would. I mean, I have it. I saw this thing, I had to get it. It was just really cool. There are, again, this thing was made in 2010, so this thing's old. I'm just glad I was able to have this thing still so well preserved. There's only one piece of this that actually broke, and that was the clip that was holding this little lore piece that was simulated using a Lego gem piece. So I'm glad I was able to have a replacement for that. But aside from that, yeah. Now, normally in the set, there's like a little bit of ruins. There's a treasure chest, and there's like a really cool, like ancient helmet-looking thing that's in the treasure chest. This guy's supposed to be guarding it, along with this guy. And Doctor, I think his name, Dr. Fish here, he has like a little submersible that has like a little arm that holds like a camera and stuff. Unfortunately, again, as I mentioned before, I don't have everything in this, which I'm sad about, but I'm glad I was at least able to find what I have found for the video. So yeah, I'm gonna go over this. This is probably not gonna be as long as I'd like it to be, but then again, I'm going and making sure that I even have the video to begin with. So there's that. Now, first thing I'd like to make note of is the build is small, but it's not that bad. And also the price of this thing, I actually did a bit of research on this thing, and I was surprised to see the price. This build is around maybe $10, $15, give or take. Not that much. I actually saw something maybe around even $7 to $8, and I'm like, that's pretty decent, all things considered. Like, wow. Granted, finding it now would be like annoying, but I digress. There's eBay, and I know there's some people that are reasonable and some people that are not. So do so at your own peril. Now, taking into account a few things, I'd like to mention there's some parts of this that are really cool. Fun fact, unless I'm mistaken about this, anglerfish, the large ones that we see are actually the females. The males are actually the smaller ones. So that begs the question, which is this? Because some of these sea creatures in the Lego Atlantis themed are huge. So that begs the question, is this a male or is this a female? And if this is just a male, I don't want to think about how big the female is. And if this is the female, then well, I imagine this thing, well, look at it. I imagine it's about the size of maybe a dog? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's this. The deep sea is kind of crazy and weird once you get to learn more about it. But yeah. Here's me being really loud outside with the car. Anyway, so I'd like to point out that there's a number of things here that is interesting considering how simple this build is, but the simplicity of it actually works. Now the tail is able to spin like so, and it is brick build, and this kind of looks something reminiscent of a Lego video game, like something you'd see there, which isn't bad, though there are some improvements that I imagine could be made. These fins are made using Lego dragon wings, and I mean like the old classic ones that we had back in the day. The jaw here is held by these rubber pieces, which allow it to open it fairly wide. In addition to that, you can also position it because you can turn it, because you'll notice there's that blue piece here that's holding it in, so you can just do that and you can go and change the angle of it fairly easy. Now, I remember Lego Aqua Raiders having pieces here that were able to, like these pieces, I remember them being able to glow in the dark. And I'm just imagining if they were able to do this, if they were to make that thing carry over, like make these teeth pieces just glow in the dark, that would have been really, really cool and a nice little reference. but I don't believe that they can, which is unfortunate. Also, I'd really like to note there's a cool little detail here about how this thing has either rotten or like a gold tooth. Maybe it got replaced by a piece of treasure. I really think it's a cool little detail here. And I like the building technique that was used for the eyes, and how they had it set up. Because here's the funny thing, right? They have these hinge pieces to help position itself. Now, when they're not like this, that's haunting. And that's worse. That's kind of funny. And that's how it's supposed to be normally. Look at that face. Adorable, don't you think? But yeah. Now, there are some improvements that I would make to this thing, and I feel like they could have done. And that's one thing. It's simple, but yeah. And that's if they were to take one of these and they were to just put it like so. I feel like that would work better and be a bit more accurate to a anglerfish, I believe, unless my memory is mistaken. But that's just me. Aside from that, I do love the part usage here. Another thing that I would like to note is, unfortunately, that there are stickers. There are stickers both on this and the mini sub thing, mini submersible that he has. Which means I wouldn't toss this in the water willy-nilly if you wanted to. I'd make sure you find a way to make sure those stickers are protected, especially since in fact the set is not exactly made anymore. So unless you're able to recreate stickers, don't do that. But yeah. Now, a thing that I'd like to mention, there is a cool thing. Now, do I wish these things were printed? Yes. I feel like printed pieces would be better, significantly better. However, I'm not sure if they'd be able to do this effect. Now, I don't know if you can hear, but when I brush my finger against it, there's like this sound that's made. And the reason why that is because these stickers appear to be textured. So as I run my finger against this, it feels like I'm touching fish scales, which is really cool. And I don't think you really get to see that nowadays in certain LEGO sets. If they do still do that, cool. I haven't encountered it again. But I think it's a really cool thing that they did with this set. It is just a really cool, it's simple set. And it's not that big either. Another thing, hold on, check this. Look at that. It's a really simple build, but it's beautiful and how it is. I think another good way to help make this better would be if you were to take like a UV light, set up your room, like especially if you have like a ocean theme for your room with Lego sets and all that with them. Get that thing and put this thing somewhere lurking in the gloom. You have the UV light, because this gemstone here will light up under a UV lamp. And maybe the eyes too. So I would highly recommend doing that, and you get a really cool effect. And the same would be for the teeth, obviously. Now, thinking of the eyes, I almost forgot. Sorry. Look at this. They have these dome pieces covering this to help simulate the eyes, which is a really cool detail. Kind of think that, here, check this. So I'm going to try and put this over the camera. So that's what I see, sort of. Fun fact: this is what I see when I wear my steampunk goggles, because I have like a lens cover on it, so I can actually see this kind of stuff. It's really cool. It's kind of weird when you first see it, but you get used to it. But yeah, pretty cool. Now, would I buy this set? Yes. Would I be more responsible with some of the parts you have? Yes, I do regret losing track of some of these pieces, because some of them are really cool. If I find them, I'll definitely show you. But yeah. this is a really cool set, and I really am glad that I managed to put this in storage in a way that was actually safe. I did have to find these guys as well, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. I still can't get over the textured stickers. That's really cool. But yeah. And considering the price this thing used to be back in the day, that's also another thing that's crazy. Really, really crazy. Like, good grief. Like, $8. The idea of this thing just being $8 potentially, or like just around $10 is insane. Awesome, but insane considering nowadays. But yeah, I would recommend getting one of these things if you can. If you're able to find one on eBay, congratulations. Hope and pray that you can get a good price on it though, because oh boy. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it. A shout out to my buddy Artie, who really wanted this thing to be seen, because he really wanted to see this thing. Oh, also, another bit of trivia with this thing. I showed this to some of my other buddies, and they're like, "Oh, we need to give him a name." It's like, because I was like thinking, like, I need a name for this thing, just a little nickname. It's like, set up a poll, and the first initial name was Big Gooberfish. For those of you who do not know, that is a reference to Star Wars and the Phantom Menace. You just Google it, you'll see what I mean. I thought it was funny. I thought it worked. And then my other video was like, no, name him Larry. I'm like, Larry? Really? I'm like, all right. I set a poll, and unfortunately for me, Larry won. So this guy's also, mine particularly, is nicknamed Larry. However, I don't know if the same is said for this guy. Do we give this one a name? I don't know. You guys decide in the comments. But yeah. To recap, this is a really cool set. I'm glad I have it. I'd recommend getting one if you don't have one. And if you want a really cool anglerfish kind of build, I would make sure to do so. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, if indeed you still are. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and make sure to hit the bell so you can get notifications as to when I post, upload, whatever. And I will see you all in the next one. That's all for now.